make a motion that we accept the minutes for July 2nd, 2012.
Second.
Okay, we have motion second discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, the same.
Nothing, yeah.
With regard
Well,
to,
it's me.
That's me, I left everybody.
Oh, there it is.
I happened to have.
oh yeah, that's right. Well, you can do an elbow.
We got it. I got it.
All right, I had an opportunity last week to go through the claims, and once again, I just want to say I'm really tickled. The claims are doing real well. We had one case where a mileage claim was filed without MapQuest, but I dealt with it, so it won't be an issue again, and it amounted to almost nothing. And that's where I saw on page 3, I saw the $9,000 claim that started me looking into.
He had his stuff on that.
Is that? Yeah, I gave it to him, didn't I? I knew I had it this morning. All right, this is from. I knew I'd seen this thing.
I'm sorry.
This is from a law office in Indianapolis to Debbie Beers, reference Bunting versus the state of Indiana and others. Dear Miss Beers, we have finally reached a settlement in the above referenced matter with the state paying a part of with the state paying a part and the insurance carrier for Whitley County paying a part. Enclosed for your file are copies of the release, the stipulation of dismissal, and entry of the dismissal. Copies of these documents should be given to the county attorney, and that's what I did. I gave him the county attorney.
He just gave him back.
Yeah, okay. And this is where it said $15,000. Now, I did not go through here word by word, but it says that the state's going to pay part, we're going to pay part.
I think Dan needs to look at that now.
Yeah, do you mind if we just have him look at it?
I'll get it to him.
All right, get it back to him, because I don't see, I don't, it's not clearly stated who's paying what, and
And I'll find a total.
and the 9,000, that was just a claim from Travelers, wasn't it? I mean, I looked at it, but didn't really.
I'll see
just
what total we've paid, Mr. Bunting.
Okay. Boy, this falls under the piddly category, and I'm sorry, but I keep seeing in the jail fund the sewing that's done. I asked Tracy, and she immediately ran an 18-month program for me. We're averaging $236 a month to an out-of-town person to sew for us, and I guess I kind of like to follow up on that, see what that's all about.
Not sewing for China. Maybe she's doing our Olympic uniform.
I honestly haven't followed that, but apparently there's some issues there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I think so.
Yeah, And in all honesty, I didn't really see anything else. Did you guys see anything you wanted to question or had a question on?
I do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Number one, both of them are in the highway department. First one is, and Jen, hopefully you can help me with this. Fund 1000. Pearson Trucking, we're paying $35,000 out of that fund. And then when I go down to Fund 1159, we're paying them another $120,000. Why are we paying?
That's your seat-up money.
That's our seat of money.
That's your seat-up money.
This
If you
one?
look at the end,
Uh,
433, 440 is your department.
yeah.
That's your seat-up money that you
This-
allocated, and it comes up to
So
the
here's
130.
what happened. We can't give. We promised them 133,000. Okay. We can't take 133,000 put in their account. We can only pay bills for them, and so she directed Michael to give her bills
Okay.
that can never go over 133,000. So, and then if you go to this other, if you go to this one, then so far out of 133,150. They've spent 97,869. So.
And actually, the council gave them 35,000, so the 135,000 you see is a rainy day. so
I
between
see,
the two,
okay, okay.
35 was rainy
Okay,
day,
all right.
I think they've used
Yeah.
almost your 133.
So
as
I saw
rainy
that too and had to figure it
Yeah.
out.
Pearson Trucking is asphalt?
Yeah, it's a hot oil they use for
Okay,
chip
I
and
thought it
seal.
was a salt order.
Oh, Great Lakes?
Yeah,
I think Pearson Trucking brings us the hot oil that we put down with the chip and seal.
day. When he
That's why
tells,
all the bills are almost the same, 15,000, because the truck's all the same.
makes sense.
Mhm, mhm.
The other thing I had was, Bob Thomas Ford Lincoln for the highway department, 2285.90.
I don't know what that one was.
And I sure missed that one, pal. There.
I don't know what that was.
Well, I can just guess that it's repairs to one of the smaller one-ton trucks, but we'll find out if you'll find out about that.
22,
What do you need? Which
Wait,
one? What's the number you need?
125, 614.
Okay. Okay.
I was thinking maybe it was Michael's car.
I'd rather, Matt, because they have a diesel shop there. It's the old Dimension.
Right, right.
Okay?
Right.
They have a diesel shop. That's where we used to take the ambulances to
Oh.
get worked on too.
Okay.
So that's my guess, but we'll let her find out for sure.
That's all I have.
Well, those are good. Those are good.
Some of those claims be
And-
approved.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Okay. I've checked off the wind ordinance because we've talked about that one. Utility permit.
Let me read it, tells you right
All right, from NIPSCO. Enclosed is in triplicate an application for a permit for the below listed location. Install 940 feet of 4-inch plastic gas main to serve 3100 East Business 30 through, no doubt, my mind, that's new Ford dealership. So,
3 copies to sign if you would, please.
okay. Need a motion to approve the permit.
Some of,
Second?
Motion second, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Is that the only utility permit?
I only have one.
Boring. Boring.
Did you guys have any, I said something to Gene Rohr that he did not have to give you, and he said by statute he has to give you monthly reports.
Mm-hmm.
So I put him on there. If you guys ever want to speak with him, he said that he'd be more than
Sure.
happy
Okay.
to come if you ever have
Okay.
questions. If not, he'll just keep
Okay.
with his realm. So I put it on there so it looks like it's on the agenda if you have
And
questions.
I tell you what, that's a
wanted you
tremendous
to know
service.
that.
The veterans of this county are I hope they realize what a hard worker they have in their veteran service officer. He does a tremendous job. Tremendous job. Under the employee contribution, I know you have on your. Sure. I see.
It's really weird.
Yeah. Does anyone have a clue as to what specific questions council's gonna want to know from us on the 24th? I see that's on their agenda too. And so I'm almost a little hesitant of dealing with the employee contributions right now. But I will. I'm prepared to, but.
No, I can tell you, they want to know what portion after you guys decide what you're going to change employee contribution, how they're going to end up funding the employer portion of it. They just want to know what action
Okay.
you guys take, ending figure what they have to come up with to put in the budget
Okay.
to the thing is what they're looking at.
Okay.
Does that help? You
So-
understand what they want?
Do we have to come up with an agreement on that 22% or 23% or 20%.
Right, you have to decide employee-wise what you're gonna do, so they know the remaining balance as the county. What
They
they're
wanna
gonna
know
have.
what the county share is.
Right,
Okay.
is what they're looking for from you
Not
guys.
what the county share is and how do we plan on paying for it.
No, they just wanna know how much you're gonna change
I
for
wanna
the
make sure
employee.
we're clear on that one, okay?
Yeah.
They wanna know employee changes, so
Okay.
they know the employee.
All right, does anyone have one of those copies in front of them? Tom, you got the copy? What would you like to, oh, go ahead, you got it, what's,
Well, if we go from where we are now, I apologize, public, my eyes just driving me crazy.
oh,
But, if we go from where we are now to 22.5%, I think it goes up like, what, $4.40 more
Right.
per employee. The only thing I think we would have to consider, I have no problem with going up to another $4.40. That makes it $24.40, say $25 for health insurance for the employee. That's still pretty cheap on our part, only to charge them that. But if they are talking about increasing employees' pay, I think some way I would like to see that before they give the raise, say, okay, and this is just arbitrary figures. If they're thinking 5% raise, which I know they're not, but I won't make it high enough so
yeah,
people
we
know I'm.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, if they say 5%, let's cut it back and say, no, we're only gonna give you 3% because our insurance is going up. And I guess rather than giving them money one day and then taking it back
Yeah, I
the
know, that's-
next,
Yep.
I'm not in favor of that.
Yep.
If we're gonna ask them to contribute more, let's do it before we give them a raise. If we don't give them a raise, or if council doesn't give them a raise, then they'll have to come up. But I don't think they'll be that concerned about it because we had real good input on our visual.
Boy, we did.
You know, we had, what, 60 or 70 people, almost half of them take out the vision insurance, which was, what, $87, $89. So, that's the only thing you can go up whatever percent or whatever percent we have to, and we're still, you know, when you're looking at $120,000 a month for health insurance, why?
Tom, if it helps you out, Pam and I worked with some numbers, and even the largest increase for the 22%, the $551.98 for the family plan, the lowest factoring job, given the 3% raise, would still benefit by $968 a year with the 3% raise. So if we gave them the
If they
900,
do that, that's
right?
not.
If they give them
yeah,
the
might not
3%,
be in.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, they may not, yeah.
They're
So
gonna
they
give them-
still would,
they would still get not 968, even at the highest family plan that's gonna increase their contribution deduction by $551. They're still getting a little raise.
so all we're asking our employees to do is pay 22% of whatever premium, whether it's employee-owned, employee children, employee spouse, or employee and family. Each one is different.
Yeah.
Right.
22%.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's too much in today's market. Talking to small business people, large, you know, and we don't know what's going to happen with Obamacare, but if there are a lot of small business people saying, well, it would be cheaper for me to pay, call it what you want, a tax or penalty. It'd be cheaper
Yeah, some
for
people are
me
saying that.
just to pay the $2,000 rather than to
Yep.
insure my employees.
Yep.
I don't
heard
know
that.
what's gonna happen with it, but we don't control DC either. My recommendation would be, or if you wanted a motion, that we adopt the 22%.
Okay.
And we have to have maybe some figures when we go in there Tuesday, if council wants to know. and we're gonna have come out, we can't charge more than that, can we, or we lose our grandfather?
Right, the
Right,
22's
right,
the
right,
max.
right, right.
So, I'll turn it over to you and George, but that'd be my feeling.
Okay, well, we're gonna have two things we need to vote on. Just, so, I don't know if you wanna make this part of the motion or vote on two things. One is the percentage, and the other is when do we start? Because remember, you could start January 1. So, just so you know, we're gonna need to decide those two things before we go to the,
But remember, our plan goes into effect August 1st, so we'd be paying August,
So you
September,
need-
October,
that's
November,
right. That's right.
5
So you-
months at the
that's right.
higher rate.
That's right, so you need to decide that.
Mhm.
Can, Vicky, within that time frame, can she work with that if we do raise it as of August 1st?
The payroll that we get next or next week, this weekend, next Monday, that will get us into, we have to know before then.
I'm gonna show my stupidity here. If anyone here or anyone out there knows, are there any federal taxes that's gonna really whack come January 1st as far as employee payroll?
Yes.
It
I'm
could.
not talking property.
It could. You remember the Social Security?
Gonna go up.
Is it going up the 2%? Wasn't it 2?
Yeah,
Effective January 1st.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
a couple of
it'd be
taxes that
definitely
are gonna go
January
up
1st.
as of
It
January.
Might be better if we do it August 1st.
My personal opinion, I think we have to do it August 1st because we're going to start paying the new premiums August 1st.
Okay.
So we almost need to.
Well, and our trust is so low right now, we almost have to.
Yeah. Would you
Okay.
mind amending your motion or?
I'd put effective August 1st of this year, or when the new policy comes into effect.
We have a motion.
I'll second that.
A motion is second. Further discussion? Okay, the motion is that we're gonna go with the 22% increase and we're really gonna start it so that, we'll leave it up to Vicky, but we want it effective August 1st, right? Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand, opposed, same. Well, that way we have something a little more definitive to tell council too, so. All right, you had Commissioner Budget 2013, is there like anything you're wanting to tell us?
I didn't really know what you guys
Okay,
wanted to
well, that's
talk
fine, I
about
just didn't know, I thought,
From their,
I guess I thought that was a done deal.
yeah, all they asked, and I listed them, was, the Council on Aging, if you were gonna keep them, the EMS, the Bowen Center, you just need to tell them that's what you have to pay them, the Woodlands and Lakes, and the other thing they talked about was, you guys need to do the appropriations for the Cume Cap, the 256 account. We need appropriations out of that. That's kind of the Denny one, Cume Cap. We don't do that? Or
What?
their console?
I'm confused,
Cume cap?
sorry.
Yeah. Console.
Commissioners don't do anything with that. The only thing, we give favorable recommendation. They decide they can do it out of Cume Cap,
And
rainy
Humane
day.
Society. Were you gonna put anything in your budget for the Humane Society?
Our budget's done. I mean, isn't it done, guys? Didn't
Yes,
we finish it? So,
and I would say no to the Humane Society this year.
well, I would say, and I would say that's up to the council.
Yeah.
Where's it at here? All right, so here's the things that you wrote, I'm guessing.